Okay, I know you're ready for the toolbox. Let's get it. Um, Obviously, ChatGPT. Raise your hand. I mean, don't raise your hand. Give me a thumbs up, like if you already use ChatGPT. I'm not going to go through every bullet point on every slide because I'm giving you the whole slide deck so you can do it on your own. But I will tell you, it is one of my go-to LLMs. LLM is a large language model, of course. That just means that it's got an interface that you can chat with, and it gives you access to basically the world's body of knowledge. The main things I want you to know are that it gives great basic outputs and it can be largely customized, which is really nice. If you haven't gone in and customized your chat GPT, you should join our workshop tomorrow because we're going to show you how to do it. Some of the weaknesses it has is its data is not very updated. Okay, so all of the information that it's pulling from, unless you ask it to search the internet for you, it's not going to be pulling very accurate data. So if you ask it for like a lesson plan on a song that's only come out in the last 6 months, well, it doesn't know that information. It's going to probably make it up because it wants to please you. All right. It also has limited memory. It's relentlessly cheerleading. And I find it to be one of the most inconsistent. Like, as I'm writing in a specific chat, it likes to deviate from the prompt. I'm sure you all have seen that. Here are some use cases for ChatGPT specifically. Planning, curriculum. I love custom GPTs. I'm actually going to give you access to some today that I wrote and are, you know, mildly helpful. Um, Obviously for professional growth, if you haven't used it for role playing, it's a great role playing tool. If you haven't gotten the app yet and had a conversation with it in voice mode, highly recommend. I had a wonderful conversation with ChatGPT about Senator Palpatine from Star Wars. And I was just like, how is he playing both sides? It's blowing my mind. And that got us into like the Dark Overlord theme. And anyway, so you can have some really interesting conversations with ChatGPT. Also, very great for your program management type stuff and personal things as well. So I realize we're moving kind of quickly here, but promise you're going to get it all. Okay. Claude, if you have not used Claude, it is probably my favorite right now. Really great at discerning what's in documents, at analyzing what's in the documents. Some people will tell you ChatGPT is better at that. I think Claude is actually better at the synthesizing of documents. So saying, here's this, and how do they connect and how do they work together? So creating that new knowledge. Um, it's great at analyzing images. You can actually prompt it to create an interactive dashboard, and it's so easy to do. That's why under opportunities you see artifacts, OMG. It will actually like create a separate document. ChatGPT does this too. They call it a canvas, and it's an opportunity to like download the whole document or in code. I've actually had like code generated in ChatGPT, and then I drop it into Claude to check the code and to show me what it actually does. It's phenomenal. Claude also just enabled a few things like it can connect with Google Suite. I have it connected to my Gmail right now, and about once a week I just do a little check. I say what emails have I missed because I get about 1,000 a day, right? So I just say what emails have I received that are not from a newsletter list, or which types of emails do I tend to ignore or delay on, or where am I missing opportunities? So that's pretty fun, and it will give you that outcome. And then, of course, all of these have similar threats. Like they should not be replacing your creative thought. You should be using it to advance your own creative thought. And when I'm prompting them, I like to ask for lists of things and then ask them to make that list comprehensive and then to give me options so that I can then use my human taste and judgment and my own creativity instead of always relying on theirs. Um, all right, you get a chance to scan this. This is an interactive educational guide that I created for you using Claude. This is what we would call an interactive artifact. And hopefully that works because obviously when I scan it, it just goes to the chat. So AI tools are not perfect, y'all. I used y'all for you, Corinne. It's my side Texan coming out.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, Perplexity. If you have not used Perplexity, it's a wonderful research tool. It will cite every response that it gives you, every line of every response that it gives you. It will give you the videos that it is pulling that information from. It can collaborate with other people, which is why I said, if you have an advanced group and you want them to be collaborating on a research project, Perplexity is probably a great one to use for that. Obviously, it has hallucination issues as well. It doesn't tend to remember things as well, but its deep research and its academic research is great. Which reminds me, something that I forgot to mention, they all have what are called different models. So we're talking about aligning what output you want, like with the tool that's right for it. But even within the tool, there's different tools. Okay. So whether you want a really fast output, whether you need something that is really, deeply thought about, you've got a lot of information that it needs to analyze. That's what the different models tend to do is they're just better at different things. And that comes down to how it's trained, right? Some are better at prediction, some are better at generation, it's just different models. Okay. But Perplexity has one that is specific for scholarly research. So if you are thinking about doing a master's degree, I don't recommend getting a doctorate. Sorry, that's like I'm at the end of my dissertation, so I'm heavily biased. Speaking of, the discover pane and notifications are really good in Perplexity. ChatGPT also has something they call tasks, where it can basically give you an automated reminder. I have one set up for ChatGPT, one for Perplexity, and one for Notebook LM, where I'm asking it to pull all the latest insights about AI, because being an AI transformation consultant, I need to stay on top of that. So those tools automatically do the research for me, summarize it, and deliver it to me twice a day. So I'm always on top of that. Um, if there's something like maybe you're into the Houston Astros and you want to know what's up with the Houston Astros news that day or anything like that, you can totally set it up. All right, here is a LLM. Most of these that we've talked about so far are what we would consider LLMs. And here's a little alignment guide for you to know which one is best for the type of work that you're doing with it. So that's where clarity comes in. I'll leave that up for about 3, 2, 1. All right. Gemini is a handy one because it's Google's product, right? So just like with Google, you're going to get great responses that are search driven because it has access to all of Google's search information. It can be in real time. Unlike, remember how I said ChatGPT, it's a little bit antiquated in its data. You have to actually ask it to search the internet to access that information. And it doesn't use Google search, but Gemini does. And if you are in the Google ecosystem at all, you see Gemini everywhere. It's in Google Sheets, it's in Google Docs, it's in this PowerPoint presentation, or this, Google slides that I'm showing you, right? It can create the images for me if I want it to. I know that they won't be great, but it can do it. Um, it's also great at multimodal, which means you can put a video into it and have it analyze that video for you or give you a summary of that video because Google owns YouTube. So drop a YouTube video in there and maybe ask it like, where are the key educational points that we can highlight in this video? Or here's a video of my band playing and find where there are obvious errors in it and tell me where those are so that you can seek it out, right? So there's opportunities for that in Gemini. Um, where it says opportunities here, gems. So they all have a way to sort of customize it to the point where it gives you really specific outputs. And Gemini uses gems, ChatGPT, they're custom GPTs. In Claude, they are artifacts, like I just showed you one. So here is a gem. They have a whole library of them that you can access. And this one will take you to a learning coach that somebody created. And as a pro user, you can go in and create your own, just like I've created something like 50 custom GPTs right now. Um, you wouldn't see them if we opened up my chat GPT because now I hire people to do that too. So, but there's a learning coach, and you can definitely like access the whole library of gems, the whole library of custom GPTs and play with them, and they'll be so fun. I actually wrote one called Shakespeare is Your Life Coach. And so you can ask like a life coaching type question, like, why can I never seem to wake up at 5 a.m.? And it will respond to you as a life coach, but in Shakespearean language. You are welcome. I'm weird. Okay, so these are the honorable mentions. We're not going to go very deep in these. I actually asked each of these to tell you why you should choose it as your go-to. And so that's what all of these QR codes are. Grok is very interesting. I'm obviously as an AI consultant, I get access to beta testing stuff. And for $300 a month, you can have a anime thing to talk to on Grok, and it's weird, man. It's weird. I told it I did D&D and it was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." Oh, I'm so anyway, it was weird. But the issue with Grok is that it pulls information from like the Twitter or the X community, and so it's not really thoroughly vetted. So if you ask it if a picture is real or not, it's probably not going to be able to tell you accurately. But it does integrate with Slack, Google Calendar, X, and Notion. We're going to talk about Notion in a minute. Copilot is basically Microsoft's response to Gemini. It's connected to Google or Microsoft Teams and Word and all of those. And I haven't honestly found many great uses that I would trust, but you're welcome to try them out if you're in the Microsoft universe. You can always ask it questions. And some of these have like really cute little animations when you open the screen. Deepseek feels to me like, I mean, it got a bunch of press when it first came out on the market. It is made by a Chinese company. It feels just like ChatGPT, but with less features, fewer features. Fewer features. Okay. These are some of my best tips for using LLMs, and they're all in the book too, along with all my best stuff. But ask the AI to analyze its previous response for comprehensiveness and accuracy. So, for example, Todd, with your wife's birthday celebration, um, you could get the first output and then ask it, like, do you have, like, is this comprehensive? And you'll know that it's not if the AI is outputting like 5 bullet points for everything, right? So you can actually say, is this comprehensive? Is this complete? Or where do you see challenges in the output that you already gave me? So we call this a prompt sequence or prompt chaining. Okay, it's where you're asking it questions about its own response. You can also do this with another tool. So you can take your ChatGPT output and pop it into Claude and say, "Hey Claude, I this is a plan for my wife's birthday party. I want you to analyze it as a professional party planner and tell me what am I missing or what kind of challenges I might run into." And in that way, you're leveraging both models against each other. It's super cool. You can give them a persona and a voice. We actually have a custom GPT I wrote that has 3 different brand voices. So I can say for Jones and Company, compose this, and it will use that kind of lingo. Or for Sovereign Plus, that's my AI consultancy. Obviously, that's for enterprise companies. That needs to be a little more formal. The voice on that is completely different. And then I have my personal brand, Elisa Jones, and that voice is completely different as well. So it's really fun to try using different personas and voices. And then watch for things that make it like obviously AI. AI loves to use the same words over and over and over again. It likes to use the same, excuse me, the same types of sentences over and over again. Okay. So I actually have a really robust list in my book. This is what happens for me getting excited, you guys. Um, I have a robust list in my book of ways that you can identify if an output is from an AI specifically, because they do tend to follow the same patterns. I mean, they've learned from human language.